Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Madden 19 franchise mode. We're going to be playing in rainy Seattle, the first home game for the Seahawks as they kick it off to Tavon Austin. The Seattle Seahawks come in this game 2-0 after two impressive victories, and the Cowboys come in at 0-2. Luckily, no injuries for the Seattle Seahawks, but the biggest injury today is going to be for the Cowboys, and it is going to be DeMarcus Lawrence. I did make a couple of changes to franchise. I made the quarters 9 minutes long. You should be seeing that in the first clip of the video. Prescott going to fake it to Ezekiel Elliott. He throws it up, and Shaquille Griffin drops the pass intended for Cole Beasley. By the way, another thing that I did, I couldn't really find good XP sliders. I know they're out there, but on Operation Sports, it was just acting funny. But I did turn the skills for the computer up to 55 from 50. And kept all my stuff the same just for now. And a fumble from Ezekiel Elliott. And Barkevious Mingo going to be brought down by Dak Prescott. And immediately, Zeke fumbles. I believe that's his first fumble on the season as well. Looking at the stats from earlier, who does he get hit by? Oh, Frank Clark, the defensive captain. That is crazy, man. Now Russell Wilson is back on the field with J.D. McKissic in the backfield. And J.D. McKissic, he is going to be brought down in a hurry for a loss of 1 yard by Eddie Pleasant, the former Houston Texans safety. Russell Wilson now trips right, first down. He is going to throw it to the drag route, Will Dissly, and he is going to charge ahead for about a gain of 10. It's 3rd and inches. Will Dissly, the backup tight end, getting a lot of reps these days as well. And now it is 3rd and inches, and now we see Chris Carson onto the field. A Chris Carson sighting, ladies and gentlemen. Cowboys going to have about 8 in the box as you see that corner over there creeping. And Chris Carson is going to charge ahead for the first down. Malik Collins and David Irving was in there on the play. Like I said, no DeMarcus Lawrence for this team either. So it's going to be very tough to see what they can do. Doug Baldwin, of course, he was hurt last game, but luckily he's able to play in this one as it was only out for the game as Sean Lee cracks down on J.D. McKissic, only getting a yard. Sean Lee, the defensive captain for the Dallas Cowboys, who start out 0-2 for the season. Not the start the Cowboys were imagining, but they could get a win here against the Seattle Seahawks. Lock it in motion for Seattle. Wilson going to hike it. He's just going to throw it underneath, and he is wrapped up by a rookie linebacker, Leighton Vander Esch, out of Boise State right there. And Tyler Lockett with a gain of 6. After this game, you should be seeing clips of scouting and trying to negotiate with Earl Thomas. This should be an interesting episode. Stay tuned. 3rd and 3. Wilson, end zone, touchdown, Doug Baldwin. Tight coverage right there, tight window, dangerous throw, and Doug Baldwin getting a pass completed against Tampa 2. Sebastian Janikowski actually kicks pretty good in the rain. He's going to drill that extra point. Just like that, man, a well-balanced drive from Russell Wilson and company. And now Seabass is going to kick it off again. Tavon Austin there to receive it. And Tavon makes a man miss. Brought down by Shaquille Griffin. Or Shaquem Griffin, excuse me. First and 10 here for the Cowboys. They picked up Julius Thomas via free agency. So now they're rocking out with a vertical threat tight end. Prescott going to give it to Zeke. He is brought down by Maurice Alexander and Frank Clark. Zeke not having a good day against Seattle's defensive line. Believe it or not, they may not have the big names, but man, do they come to play every single week against this Dallas offensive line, especially starting out. And there's a big hit from Bobby Wagner coming in on the blitz. And things are going from bad to worse right now for the Dallas Cowboys. Trips right, Allen Hurns all by himself going up against Byron Maxwell. Hurns looks like he has him beat. Griffin going to knock it away from Terrence Williams. It's been a rocky start for Shaquille Griffin, excuse me. I always get him confused, but it's been a rocky season for these guys, especially for Shaquille Griffin. Every week it's like his cornerback one job is in jeopardy. Hopefully today he makes a good impression, as the punter Jones is going to kick it away. 25-yard line. That's where Seattle is going to start. Lockett, no chance to return. On the opening drive, Russell Wilson and company took advantage of field position and was able to get a quick score. What did they do here on this drive? A little bit of a fullback sighting. Trey Madden going to catch the ball, brought down by Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. Filling in for DeMarcus Lawrence, by the way, we have Taco Charlton. Keep your eye on number 97. And J.D. McKissic gets lit up. Doesn't get anything right there. Neither offense has been able to run the football effectively. That's kind of surprising because you have Zeke in that Cowboys offensive line, and here in Seattle, the offensive line needs work, and I don't think it's a secret. J.D. McKissic is lined up as a wideout, however. And Baldwin, does he get rejected of the first down? Let's see. No, they're going to give it to him. I thought it was pretty short, or at least a little short, but they're going to give it to him. Byron Jones moving to corner. He's there on the tackle. Wilson going to hand it off again. JD now has a little bit of a crease, but only gets 5 yards. Brought down by Leighton Vander Esch. We've been hearing his name a lot today. He has been in on an assisted tackle, and now he has 2 solos. As you see, the Seahawks try to keep things going here. Oh, and brought down on the play by Coney Ely. That right tackle got absolutely destroyed, and Ely was able to come in and get a sack. 3rd and 11. What are we going to see here from Russell Wilson? 2 tight ends, 2 receivers set. And an interception from Coney Ely. The defensive lineman who used to be an outside linebacker for the Jets for like a little bit gets an interception right there. Not a good look from Russell Wilson. 3 tight ends, 1 receiver. Zeke is in the backfield. It's going to be a stretch. And he is brought down by Justin Coleman for a loss of 1. Every run right now for Dallas has resulted in negative yardage. The Seahawks came to play in their first home game of the season. 3 receivers, 1 tight end. That tight end going to be Julius Thomas. Prescott in shotgun. He hikes it. He's looking for his man, and he's got Allen Hurns, who absolutely burns Byron Maxwell for the touchdown. The Seahawks had all the momentum until that play. The slot fade. Allen Hurns able to get open. And Dan Bailey, one of the more accurate kickers in the league, going to nail the extra point. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the Cowboys looking for their first win. The Seahawks looking to defend their home turf. Rashad Penny going ahead and calling for the fair catch. That's how close the game is. Seattle has 30 yards to Dallas's 31. That is how close this game has been. And there's Ed Dixon. Missed tackle by Jalen Smith. It's going to be cleaned up by Jeff Heath. And a part of the new update, by the way, the injury timeout is going to be on Coney Ely. That's a part of the new update. They tell you immediately who got hurt, which I think is kind of cool. I'm glad they get the news out there immediately instead of having to wait 3 plays. A toss right. McKissic Makes a man miss. Makes another miss. And almost getting to the end zone. One of the best runs in the career of J.D. McKissic. This may be a drag-out heavyweight fight between two teams who had a hell of an opportunity to make it to the postseason. Doug Baldwin with a tight catch in tight space gets to the 1 yard line. Can they get the play off? No, they won't. Starting the second quarter at the 1 yard line, tied 7 apiece. What are the Seattle Seahawks going to do? Two receivers, two tight ends. The ball is going to get hiked straight to J.D. McKissic, and he is rejected of the goal line. He had that long run to set it up, and man, this is tough. You want to see him score. And Wilson gets absolutely obliterated in the pocket. Dayton Jones, former Green Bay Packer, coming in on the sack, and Seattle just going to take the 3 points. I feel like points are more valuable in this scenario, and so does head coach Pete Carroll. Seabass is going to drill his 18-yard field goal. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the game. 9-minute quarters. It's a little bit of an experiment, but I feel like for realistic stat lines, we kind of need it. And if you check out the bottom scores, you can see who has been winning their games. As you see, Tennessee does beat Jacksonville to get some momentum. Two tight end, two receivers on the field as well. Dak handing it off to Zeke, and he is wrestled down by Frank Clark. A loss of 1. The Seahawks defensive line, they were hungry. They've been hungry since the very beginning. They've been hungry since they figured out they were going to be facing the elite Dallas offensive line. And so far, they have come to play. And there's Zeke again, and there's Maurice Alexander coming down in the box. Zeke gets his first positive rush of the game. His first run that goes for positive yards. Now it's 3rd and 10. Trips left, Prescott shotgun formation. He's going to hike it. He dumps it off to Zeke, and he is brought down by Bobby Wagner. Only the second completed pass for Dak Prescott. As Chris Jones now is going to punt it to Tyler Lockett. The last one went out of bounds. Let's see what this one can do. And the punt is up. Tyler Lockett back to receive it. And he is going to be brought down immediately after trying to do a little misdirection. Russell Wilson and company coming back on the field. 2 possessions, 2 scores. You gotta like what you've been seeing from these guys. And Will Dissly never turns around for the pass. And center Justin Britt goes down with an injury. Dissly just never looked back for the pass, and that's dangerous. That could have been picked off. If that were an elite corner, that gets picked off. I don't think he's aware of the situation. And Doug Baldwin. Tight coverage on the play, but the pass is completed to his man Doug Baldwin. Justin Britt is going to be out for the game with a bruised sternum. This offensive line just took a major hit. There's J.D. McKissic. He is going to be brought down by Tyrone Crawford for a gain of 8 yards on the play. So immediately the center with a nice block coming in for Justin Britt, who just went down with the injury. I formation here for Wilson. He's going to hike the football. Dixon gets the catch. Nice little floater for him. On the coverage was Eddie Pleasant. First and 10 for Seattle. They're looking to beat down this 0-2 Cowboys team. We'll see what they can do. Chris Carson sighting, ladies and gentlemen. And he is going to power ahead for about 9 on the play. 2nd and 1. Chris Carson trying to make the most of his snaps. I gotta say, so far, he's done a solid job of that. It looks like they're going to flip it to the other side, even though it looks like it may not work. And McKissick, touchdown. Nice spin move on Jalen Smith. And finally, JD gets his first rushing touchdown of the season. You got to be happy for JD McKissick, man. What a journey it was for him to get to the NFL. In a starting battle between him and Rashad Penny, he ends up getting the slight edge. And here he goes on his first touchdown. Just makes a man miss right there, and JD just putting in the work. Touchdown. Good work here from the Seattle Seahawks. Now it's 17-7. The Cowboys haven't been able to run the ball, and aside from the Allen Hurns touchdown, they really haven't been able to do a whole lot. Seattle now regains the momentum as Sebastian Janikowski kicks it off to Tavon Austin. And the Dallas Cowboys, who look to regain momentum for themselves, look to try to get something going. Maybe they need another big play down the field. Everyone kind of split out like a receiver, but there is 3 receivers and 1 tight end. Prescott, 5 in the box. Elliott going to run. Nizier Jones couldn't bring him down, so Mo Alexander comes in to finish the job. A gain of 3 there for Ezekiel Elliott puts him now at -4 yards. It's been a crazy game for him. Kind of like the Denver game from last season all over again. Zeke tries to make Mo Alexander miss, but now Zeke gets to just 0 yards. 3rd and 2 here, and it looks like the Seahawks are going to stack the box here against this 2-receiver look. Press coverage. And look at that, man. Barkevius Mingo, Frank Clark, and Mo Alexander all come in there for Zeke to lose a yard. So 9 rushes for -1 yards for the boy Ezekiel Elliott. It's tough to see right there. Chris Jones going to kick it off to Tyler Lockett once again. And the kick is going to sail out of bounds. 2-minute warning. Seahawks receive it at the 26-yard line. Seattle does get the ball coming out of half, so they could score, come out again and score again. Continue to put pressure on the Cowboys. Russell Wilson going to hike. Doug Baldwin with the reception, and he is going to be brought down on the play. Left guard Eric Pocic goes down on the play, so another offensive lineman hurt for this team, which is going to force Seattle to use the timeout. J.D. McKissick tries to get something going, and now he is hurt. Tyrone Crawford with the play, so back-to-back injuries, which results in 2 timeouts being used for Seattle. Receiving back C.J. Prosise in the game. He's now getting some action. Russell Wilson's going to motion him out as a decoy potentially. Underneath, they go with Ed Dixon, who tries to power ahead for some yardage. 3rd and 6 here for Seattle. What are they going to do? And they're going to go with Ed Dixon, who comes up short on the play. 4th and 1. Shoulder tear for J.D. McKissick, man. He was on a roll, having a great game. Sebastian Janikowski, what is he doing? He's going to try a 63-yard field goal. And the kick is up. And it's just short. Maybe if it were 60 yards out, Sebastian Janikowski makes that, but what was he thinking? What was going through Pete Carroll's mind as he went for that kick anyway? 5 wide on the play with Julius Thomas in at tight end. Prescott hikes the football. He is going to find Julius Thomas in stride. KJ Wright does touch him before he can keep moving. 3 receivers. Julius Thomas, the lone tight end. Prescott in shotgun formation again. Dak going to throw it to Julius Thomas. He has been the man for this drive, and the Cowboys are going to take a timeout. Back-to-back injuries for the Seahawks on offense. Pochich is going to be all right, but J.D. McKissic not so much. He's done for the night. 5 wide again. Prescott going through his progressions. He's going to throw it to Cole Beasley. Fumble! And one of the big men gets it. That's Jaron Reed. Cole Beasley, man, prime chance to score if you're the Dallas Cowboys. Not necessarily working out. And Russell Wilson going to scramble out. And he is going to get to the 40-yard line. Tyron Crawford now injured for the Cowboys. New receiving back, CJ Prosise is going to step in for J.D. McKissic. He can run the football, but they haven't really tried to do anything special with him. And Wilson just going to run out of bounds again. Probably could have had someone downfield, but if you're Russell Wilson, the wildly veteran that you are, you can't really take risks like that anymore. CJ Prosise in the game. Doug Baldwin going to be against Jalen Smith. Oh, and a big hit by 25. I think it's Xavier Woods. Sean Lee, if he turns around, that's an interception. That's a big play waiting to happen right there. And they're going to send Lockett in motion. Rashad Penny coming in on 3rd down. And the Seahawks have 1 timeout, and they'd like to reserve it. They'd like to reserve it, and I think that's what they're going to do. Just try to get in field goal range and reserve the timeout. Oh, and Lockett, if he hangs on to the ball, that's a big play. Jordan Lewis on the play to break it up. That had big play potential written all over it, but unfortunately they could not come through with the big play. And Baldwin with a clean drop on the play. Now it's 3rd and 10. And I feel like right here you got to go with a different play. 4 seconds left. You can't attempt another long field goal because then you give the Cowboys at least 1 second to work with. Pete Carroll going to send his Hail Mary guys out there. Russell Wilson going around the edge. He's going to throw it up. Oh, and Baldwin almost came up with it. How clutch would that have been for the Seattle Seahawks, home of the Hail Mary back in the day with the referees. But they're going to walk into halftime 17-7 lead. They're dominating in every category, even in rushing yards, which is kind of strange considering one team has Zeke and the other doesn't. We're going to take a look at the halftime show. I haven't really done it a whole lot, so we're going to do it here. Let's start out with the Battle of LA, shall we? 14-10 lead for the Chargers. Phillip Rivers having himself a nice game. Melvin Gordon not too shabby either. Goff, on the other hand, has a pick, but over 50% completion percentage. Now let's go to a different game. We got the New Orleans Saints facing the Atlanta Falcons. It's some NFC South action. 38-18, the Saints going to win the game. 4 touchdowns for Drew Brees. 2 receptions, 96 yards for Ted Ginn Jr. Chicago versus Arizona. Mitchell Trubisky down 10-9. But he's had a pretty solid game, just needs himself a touchdown. J.J. Nelson with a quick 8-yard strike in the end zone from Sam Bradford. And here are the highlights. J.D. McKissic with a beautiful spin move on Jalen Smith. Prescott going down the field. He's going to find Allen Hurns, who beats his man Byron Maxwell. And there's the best play from both teams. 17-7, Jones is going to be the kickoff specialist. He is going to kick it off to Rashad Penny, who finally gets to return one. And he is going to get to about the 25-yard line. And now Russell Wilson and company are headed back onto the field. The Seahawks, what a turnaround it has been in this game. 1st and 10, they're going to hand the ball off to Rashad Penny, who is brought down by Sean Lee, and there's a timeout. Injury timeout. Tyler Lockett is now hurt. So in a game where, you know, there's been a lot of injuries. You know, the first 2 weeks, not so much, but some reason week 3, I guess, is the prime week for injuries. Rashad Penny going to pick up the first down. He is now with 13 rushing yards. Hopefully we can get some more word here on Tyler Lockett, but we haven't heard anything yet. Brandon Marshall is in motion, the wide receiver. They're going to find him underneath, and he is brought down by Sean Lee. Brandon Marshall coming in for about 9 yards on the play. Tyler Lockett has a bruised knee. He is going to be okay, but I think for now we got to rock out with Brandon Marshall. 2 receiver, 2 tight end set right here, and Rashad Penny is back in the backfield for this team. It was CJ Procise. As you see right there, Sean Lee to clean it up. Jalen Smith almost had him, but Penny is going to do everything he can to get that first down. First and 10 right here. We got 3 receivers and a tight end. Let's see what happens here. And Jerron Brown looking for the big play, and a woozy is going to get the interception. Russell Wilson now with his 3rd interception on the season. To me, it's better to get him out of the way early than to have like December interceptions. You know what I mean? So it's rough. And Zeke now has a crease. All that talk. And look who's about to take off. Ezekiel Elliott now is free to eat. 93-yard touchdown. They maybe committed a little bit too much to the middle on the right side. They take it left. 93 yards later, look who's eating. Nobody was fast enough to catch him. It's a touchdown, and all of a sudden that Russell Wilson interception brings life back to the Dallas Cowboys team and brings life back into this football game. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, a game can change in a matter of 12 seconds, as you saw on that drive. Chris Jones now back to kick it off to Rashad Penny. He is going to be brought down at the 28-yard line, and Russell Wilson is probably kicking himself because of that interception. He tried to throw it up to Jerron Brown. Give this guy a chance. And it didn't work. Russell Wilson. Oh, it's a fake. He's going to throw it underneath. Byron Jones down the tackle. A gain of 3 for his boy right there. Two tight end, 2 receivers, and we got at least Rashad Penny in the backfield. And Rashad Penny never turned around right there to catch the football. Jalen Smith was playing off of him as well. It's been a huge issue today. No one's turning around, it seems like, to make the play. Tyler Lockett, like we said, he's clear to return, but I think he's just taking a breather. And that was almost picked off by Byron Jones. It looks like Wilson tried to throw it away as well. And the first time we are seeing this punter on the field, undrafted rookie Michael Dixon, making his debut into this game as well. And that ball bounces to about the 9-yard line. We saw what they were able to do inside their own end zone, though. They just took it out and ran the football. Heavy set again for the Cowboys. Play action. And a big sack by KJ Wright. Puts him down at the 1-yard line. KJ Wright rushed the edge right there, and that's the first sack for Seattle. Ezekiel Elliott gonna fight to get about 4 yards right there. Good for him. He has that one long run. Now his stats are gonna look good benefiting from the one run, but you take that run away, he's got about what, 10 rushes for 4 yards? Not necessarily elite, but 2 tight ends, 2 receivers on 3rd and 14. And they're gonna hand it off to Zeke again, and that's gonna be a safety. Big hit. Prescott recovers the football, and Frank Clark, man, he has been all over this football field, making a variety of plays. And Amara Darboh is going to receive the punt. He is going to be tackled immediately by Jeff Heath. The Seattle Seahawks, man, they're just finding different ways to get it done, it seems like. A rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, a field goal, a safety. Let's see what this drive brings them. I formation, they hand it off to Penny. Tries to bounce it to the outside. Eddie Pleasant is there to clean it up. Big play for Rashad Penny, I guess. 4 yards. CJ Prosise going to check into the game now. One of 4 running backs this team kept on the roster. And Prosise going to be brought down, not before picking up the 6 yards he needed to get a first down, however. This episode's going to be a long one because we still have to do the scouting, and we got to do the Earl Thomas contract, see what the dilemma is going to be about that. But 1st and 10, here we go. Russell Wilson going to slide up in the pocket, and he's going to slide it. Oh, look at that animation. Leighton Vander Esch just did something crazy over there. 1st and 10 now for Russell Wilson, and no Tyler Lockett yet. They're just going to let him chill out for a bit. Got to preserve that wide receiver. And it looks like Baldwin tried to do a fake lateral, but he is brought down on the play immediately after making the catch. Baldwin having himself a nice game. 6 receptions for 83 yards and a quick touchdown. One of the formations the Seahawks like right there, and the ball is knocked out, and Will Dissly is able to recover it and get about, I don't know, 3 yards? Yeah, 3 yards. Very bizarre play right there, and we've seen a few of those throughout the course of this game. And here we go right here. Chris Carson. We got a Chris Carson sighting. And probably back to the bench after this. Tyrone Crawford is there to clean it up. No gain right there for Chris Carson. Rashad Penny in the backfield now. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers again. And here's Russell Wilson. He's just going to throw it away. Nothing he could do right there in that scenario. Just smart thing, throw it away. Janikowski now, after missing a 63-yarder, he's back on the field. And that 35-yarder's good. Seabass now gives this team an 8-point lead over the Dallas Cowboys, almost towards the end of the 3rd. What is Dallas going to have up their sleeve this drive, as this kick is unreturnable for Tavon Austin? And there's the stats right there for Ezekiel Elliott. How he started, how he's been since. One big run kind of changed the way Ezekiel Elliott's been playing today. But nonetheless, the Cowboys are going to give it to Ezekiel Elliott again, not before being met by Maurice Alexander. We've heard that name a few times today, haven't we? 2nd and 8 here for the Dallas Cowboys. 3 receivers, 1 tight end. Prescott's going to be under center with Zeke in the backfield. And it looks like he's going to hand it off again. Bounces off Earl Thomas, not before Alexander's there to clean it up. What's funny is Earl Thomas and Ezekiel Elliott could be teammates, depending on how the contract talks go after the game with Pete Carroll. 3rd and 8 here. Let's see what Prescott has up his sleeve. Prescott goes to throw it to Julius Thomas. And what a big catch right there, just in the right spot. Past KJ Wright. Maurice Alexander didn't close in time. Big throw by Prescott. That's a big time throw, y'all. Trips left. Prescott going to hike the football. And it looks like incomplete. I thought he would hit the guy in the flat, but apparently he was looking for, I believe that was Cole Beasley. Julius Thomas and Allen Hurns, by the way, reunited, former Jaguar players. Prescott goes to throw. Almost picked off by KJ Wright, but he knocks it away from Terrence Williams. Third and 10 right here. Let's see what happens. Tries to look for Terrence Williams. It was a corner blitz, but Maurice Alexander had to cover that side of the field. Overthrown by Prescott. Dan Bailey out here to make the field goal. This one's going to be a 51-yarder for Dan Bailey. See how he fares in the rain, and he is going to make it. One of the more accurate kickers in the league. I'm going to keep saying that because he is. It's a true fact. Rashad Penny back in the end zone to receive the kick. He's going to bring it out from about 2 or 3 yards deep. He's going to be brought down at the 27-yard line. Nice return right there. And here's Russell Wilson. Started off nice. He's kind of been rocky. A little shaky since, but good yards nonetheless. 1st and 10 right here. Procise is in the game at running back. Oh, and just overthrows Procise. Pete Carroll not really liking that one either. I believe that ball slipped out of Wilson's hands, though. I formation here for the Seahawks. They're going to hand it off right here to Rashad Penny. Face mask or nah, either way. A yard for Rashad Penny. Brought down on the play by Xavier Woods, and no, not the Xavier Woods in the WWE from the New Day. 3rd and 9 right here. And he is going to float it up for Brandon Marshall. What a nice placed ball from Russell Wilson. He overthrows CJ Procise, then 2 plays later, he's putting that ball right on the money, excuse me. Good game here for Russell Wilson, I must say. And there's Ed Dixon. Tries to dive for the end zone. He's going to come up just short. Ed Dixon also has 6 catches for 83 yards as well. And there's Rashad Penny. Touchdown. He gets his first rushing touchdown on the year as well. And with the extra point, the Seahawks will have a 12-point lead. Seabass on the way, and the kick is good. Nice run right there from Rashad Penny from a yard out. It's really hard to get those 1 yard runs, but the Cowboys didn't really stack the box either. Tavon Austin, former West Virginia standout at receiver, going to receive the kick. Nice spin move brought down by a host of Seattle players. In there was Trey Madden and Bradley McDougald. 12-point game here in Seattle, the first home game for the Seahawks as well. Same formation we've been seeing, 3 receivers and a tight end. Prescott. Oh, that pass was deflected by KJ Wright. Zeke looked like he was wide open, however, on the halfback angle, but I guess Dak didn't read it. I don't think Prescott read the coverage right there. And Prescott going to throw that away. Barkevious Mingo for the Seahawks looks like he is going to be hurt. Unfortunate news right there. Another big injury. However, that brings in Shaquem Griffin, who I believe is backing up Mingo. We won't see him here, but he backs up Barkevious Mingo. Nice catch by Allen Hurns over Byron Maxwell. Moving the chains. Actually, DJ Alexander is going to come in the place of Barkevious Mingo there. Excuse me. Wagner right there on the play along with Justin Coleman. Well, it's a calf strain. We'll keep in DJ Alexander just to play it safe. Second and 6 right here for Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Prescott goes to hike the football. He's going to throw it to Terrence Williams, and I think he gets enough for the first down. Let's see. Yes, he does. That is his first catch, by the way, in this entire game. What a better time to get it than in the fourth quarter when your team could use all the momentum. And now for Prescott, let's see what he can get going. He's going to throw it underneath to Julius Thomas, not before being met by Wagner and Shaquille Griffin. Hasn't been the most exciting game if you're a Cowboys fan, but you do have the big Allen Hurns completion. Got a couple of things working for you. Press coverage, it looks like, here for the Seahawks, and they're going to hike it. Quick throw to Julius Thomas, brought down by KJ Wright. And Julius Thomas able to get up on his own feet, but he's injured on the play. That's what it says anyway. 5 wide here for Prescott. We've seen this a few times in this game. Let's see what happens here. Allen Hurns, he looked like he caught it, but it gets knocked down by KJ Wright. And now it's 4th and 2. What will the Cowboys do? A little bit out of field goal range. Tight end in motion right here. Swain going to switch sides, and Earl Thomas just reading the play like a book. A very instinctive play from Earl Thomas. When you're as experienced as Earl Thomas and very well rounded as a safety, you're going to come up with some plays. Will Dissly, nice little catch right there. He actually turned around this time and got it. Big reception right there for him. The Seahawks right here, they can either manage the clock or just try to go for one more score. We'll see how they decide to play this. Oh, and knocked away by Sean Lee, and the injury timeout's going to be on Coney Ely. A lot of injuries in this game. Maybe I'll have to tone down the injury slider even more. It's on 40, and it looked like it was working out until this game. They must have been an update where injuries are a little bit more frequent. But anywho, let's get back to the action. Trey Madden going to be brought down by Leighton Vander Esch. We haven't said his name in a little bit. 3rd and 3 right here is Trey Madden. He gets his second catch, I believe. Yeah, his second catch for 13 yards right there. 3rd and 3. Let's see what the play is going to be. Quick throw to Baldwin. He stiff arms the defender or jukes him out, and he is brought down again on the play. That is Baldwin's 7th catch. And ladies and gentlemen, a Chris Carson sighting. He's back in the backfield. It looks like they're going to flip the play. Oh, and he didn't mean to throw it to that guy, but I think he was panicking because the clock was winding down. But Russell Wilson, not really a good read right there. If anything, throw it to the slant. Looked like Russell Wilson kind of panicked right there. I formation here for Wilson on 2nd down, and Penny looked like promising yards was going to be given to him, but Sean Lee covering it up. 2-minute warning here for the Seattle Seahawks as they look to put the final nail in the coffin on the Cowboys getting a victory. A lot of different ways they can go with this one. We'll see which one they choose to go with. Wilson hikes it. Looks for Ed Dixon. And Marshall almost got it off the deflection as well. What a play right there. Interesting sequence. Seabass out here for the 36-yarder. He missed a 63-yarder earlier. He's going to drill this right down the middle from 36, and now it's a 15-point lead against the Dallas Cowboys here. By the way, we're not done, ladies and gentlemen. We still got scouting, and we have to address Earl Thomas and his contract situation. Earl Thomas is the only one that wants his contract done a little early. And Seabass is going to bring down Tavon Austin. Good job by him right there. Sebastian Janikowski getting some reps at tackling right there. That's interesting. 1st and 10 for Prescott. Earl Thomas creeps down in the box. It's a screen, and he throws it incomplete. There was only one man that would have been over there, and that's KJ Wright. Everyone else kind of committed to the quarterback. Julius Thomas has not returned to the game, by the way, for the Dallas Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott draw play, and he is brought down by Alexander and Wagner, and he is going to get 100 yards on the game. And what a big hit from Wagner right there as Zeke tried to get some more yardage. 2nd and 9 right here for him. Cole Beasley going to be lined up as a tight end. Let's see how Wagner does against that. It doesn't matter. KJ Wright tips it away from everyone. His 4th pass deflection. I wonder if that makes him an elite linebacker. Five wide for Prescott. Again. Mingo is back in the game, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. 3rd and 9. And Williams is going to catch it over Maxwell, who doesn't look like he's been having a good performance in this game. 1st and 10. Prescott gets his troops rallied up quickly. Looks like somebody slipped, and it was Swain. That play couldn't have been set up any differently. And Leo Collins, the right tackle for the Cowboys, is now injured. You got to imagine whoever's on that right side is licking their chops right now. And that's going to be Barkevius Mingo coming back in from injury. Let's see how he does. Keep your eyes on the bottom of that screen. And he bends the edge. Overthrown right there. Shaquille Griffin, if he would have let up that catch, we would have had a chat. We would have had to have talked. As we see right here, it's going to be 3rd and 1. Prescott going to throw it. Griffin gets the interception. Shaquille Griffin that being, and he's going to go out of bounds. What a play right there by Shaquille Griffin to basically put the final nail in the coffin. The third turnover for the Dallas Cowboys, and it's probably the last one. Wilson and company going to run out the clock, and Carson going to lose a yard. Here we go for Rashad Penny. There's the final timeout right there, and it's 3rd and 9 now for the Dallas Cowboys. Looks like a stretch play. And that's probably going to be it. Bring out the punt unit anyway. And we're just going to chill here, and that's probably going to be it. So, like we said, still got some scouting to do. Earl Thomas is the only player that needs, he demands, like, the contract. So, we're going to offer him something, and hopefully he takes it. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Now, we can either give him what he wants, or we can give him what we think he deserves. But that's going to be it for this game. And the next cutscene, you'll be seeing us working on the scouting, and that's going to be it.